In this video, I'll be going over one-step inequalities. When working with one-step inequalities, we want to get the variable by itself with inverse operation. And we need to reverse inequality sign when we are multiplying or dividing both sides by negatives. And below are 4 examples, and we'll be going over each one. For the first example, x plus 12 is less than 14. So just like an expression, we will look at it as x plus 12 equals 14. So to solve this, we need to minus 12 on both sides. Then this will become 0, and that will be x. And then 14 minus 12 is 2. Then we bring down the sign as it is. Then this will become x less than 2. Now notice that the operator that we use in this case is minus. So therefore we didn't reverse the sign. So the answer would be x less than 2. For the second example, we have 20 is greater or equal to y minus 14. So same thing, we're going to assume the sign to be equal, and we will solve this by adding 14 on both sides. This will become 34, greater or equal to y. And so that will be the answer. And the operator that we use was addition. So there's no change in the sign from the answer. For the third example, we have y over 7 greater than or equal to 4. For this, we need to first write it out again. Now we need to multiply by 7 and on both sides. This way we can cross this out and we get variable of y by itself because y is greater or equal to 28. And although this time we did multiply, however, the sign was a positive number, so therefore there's no sign changes at the answer. Now for the last example, we have negative ax less than 48. In this example, we're going to divide by negative 8, both sides. Now this example has a negative value which we divide. So we need to switch the sign. So the sign originally was pointing this direction. Now we need to change it so that it points this direction. And 48 divided by negative 8 is negative 6. And that's the answer. So this is the only example where we are dividing by a negative. And notice the change of the sign going from less than to greater than. And that's very important to be aware of, as there will be questions that will involve multiplication of negative numbers or dividing by negative numbers, so that you want to make sure that you do change the sign when you see that happening. So these are 4 examples of how we handle one-step inequalities. Hopefully they are helpful to you, and thank you for watching.